Pod family, it's Dr. Clark Kaufman here again at Avad Chiropractic and Wellness. Hey, this Wednesday's health tip is all about muscle relaxation and what you can do for that. So when muscles get super tight, or if they feel like they're tight, or you get pain, you just don't feel well, you feel like everything's just tense, right? A lot of times what happens is things called trigger points. Now, this is just one thing. Trigger points are kind of a hyper excited or hyper irritable muscle, the fibers within that, and it creates what we would consider a knot. Not always, but majority of the time that's the case. And so when this happens, it actually has it depends what muscle, but a common and fairly reproducible pain pattern where you feel it elsewhere other than where we're pressing. And so an example of this would be if you push on the trap right there and you feel it up in the back of your head, or even sometimes it can wrap around, that would be considered a true trigger point. Now, sometimes the easiest way to get these to diminish is literally pushing on it as hard as you can, perpendicular. Not as hard as you can, but pressing, putting pressure perpendicular to the muscle or where the trigger point's at. And so this is a very effective way that we do in office. However, there's some things that you can get to do at your home. I always recommend a tennis ball. If you have a tennis ball for like at least back issues, you can lay on that and roll around and try to find a spot. However, things like the traps and stuff like that, or even some areas of like larger muscle groups like your thigh, your quads, it's not as effective just because it's a weird spot to be in. But you can get other things like they call them Theracanes, back knobbers, I believe, that actually, I use a cane, like just a shepherd's hook cane, and yeah, you can loop it like on your trap and just pull, sink into that trigger point, which is a really good way of doing that. Now, on top of doing something manually, what you can do is chemically, and what I mean by that is the chemical makeup of your internal environment, your blood chemistry, right? And so how muscle contracts is calcium. It's a longer explanation than that, but it uses calcium to contract and make things move. Magnesium does the opposite of that, amongst other things, that helps to relax the muscle and calm it down. And so if you're deficient in magnesium, you can have these problems. Now, how do I tell if I'm deficient in magnesium? Well, without going into like blood chemistry or anything, a lot of people around here, specifically in the northern United States, are deficient in that, and it's just because of soil depletion and things of that sort. So getting a good magnesium supplement would help with that. Even Epsom salt baths, which is magnesium sulfate, has some of your magnesium in it, so you can absorb it that way through the skin. Now, it works really well for muscular, like when you got a spasm, or it's just always tense. It's good to try and start doing a magnesium supplement and see if that would help. Majority of the time it does, just because that's the nature of magnesium. It helps to calm and relax those muscles. So doing those two things together, whether it's having someone perform it, like a massage or like a trigger point therapy on you, or trying it yourself, doing it at home, you can somewhat to an extent, and then combining that with a magnesium supplement will help tremendously get rid of that tension, and even sometimes tension headaches, because it's just because the muscles are so tight. So getting that, and magnesium is a cost-efficient way to do that. So muscle soreness and pain and tightness and just the spasms are a common thing, across the U.S. We see a lot of it in our office too. So those are the most effective ways that I've seen to be able to release those muscles, and in turn, your vertebra move better. You move better. You have better range of motion, so it equals less pain. So it's a win-win for you. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below.